Hello, we're going to do some problems here from 7.2. In this video, we're going to do numbers 8, 9, and 10. So I cut some pictures from the textbook that is included with the course. So it says find an angle theta. If theta is between 0 and 90 degrees with the same as, would give us the same as sine of 40 degrees and then cosine of 40 degrees. So it's helpful if we look at this and I didn't quite see this in the text, but I'm going to tell it to you now. If you make this type of diagram, all students take calculus, which is, suggestive language for next year. This tells you which quadrants that these functions are positive. They're all positive in the first quadrant. Sine's positive in the second quadrant. Tangent's positive in the third quadrant. And cosine is quadrant in the fourth quadrant. And then you can relate it to the secant, cosecant, and cotangent if you want to. So when we're asked about sine of 40 degrees, well, in that case, we're looking at, here's our 40 degrees. What other quadrant is it going to be positive in? It's going to be positive in the second quadrant, where the reference angle is 40 degrees. So what's the other part of that angle? The supplement of the angle, 180 degrees minus 40 degrees is 140 degrees. So this would be 140 degrees. And likewise for the cosine one, we're looking for, this is our reference angle of, or this is our angle of 40 degrees. We want the reference angle of 40 degrees. So we look for the quadrant where it's going to be positive. In this case, it's going to be the fourth quadrant. So we'd have a reference angle of 40 degrees. And what's the rest of that angle? We can take that from 360. So 360 degrees minus 40 degrees is 320 degrees. So that'd be 320 degrees. Okay, let's keep on with this little group. I copied and pasted this in here just for reference on some of these problems that we would need to see that. The next one, we're doing the same thing where we're supposed to find the, what is the same angle, same value. So if we go back to our all students take calculus, sine of 250. Now where's sine 250? Well, this is 180 degrees. This is 270 degrees. So we're looking at an angle down here. I'm not drawing this to scale either, by the way. If we look at 250 minus 180, the nearest horizontal, that's going to give us 70 degrees. So a reference angle is 70 degrees. So what other quadrant? So sine is in the third quadrant, sine's negative. So we'd be looking at this quadrant over here with a reference angle of 70 degrees. So if that's the case, what's this bigger angle? That's going to be 360 degrees minus 70 degrees to give us 290 degrees. And likewise for cosine. Cosine is also negative here. And we've already found this to be a reference angle of 70 degrees. But cosine is also negative up here. So what would the rest of this angle be? So 180 degrees minus the 70 degrees is 110 degrees. Okay, good. Let's do one more. And this one says, without using a calculator, compute the sine and cosine of 4 pi over 3 by using reference angles. Give the exact values. So, pull this one up here. We'll be able to use that drawing also from the book. So 4 pi over 3 is down here. And this is pi. So 4 pi over 3 minus pi is 4 pi over 3 minus 3 pi over 3, which is pi over 3. So the reference angle here is pi over 3. Now, they're both negative in this quadrant. So this is sine is negative, cosine is negative. So now we're going to go to our reference angle and look what that would give us with the reference angle. So our reference angle is pi over 3, but this is going to be negative because of the quadrant they're in. So if we go to our reference angle here of pi over 3, the first one is the cosine. The cosine is going to be the x value. The y value is the sine. So our cosine of 4 pi over 3 is negative 1/2, and our sine of 4 pi over 3 is negative square root of 3 over 2. The other thing to do is to memorize those values, and that's a very useful thing is you memorize all the values from 0 to 2 pi. If you go like pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 3, pi over 2, and so on. Okay, I hope that helps. I'll be making another video for problems, I think it's 12 through 17.